In this video, I am going to talk about the development environment setup for building our blog application. We are going to use Spring Boot 3, which requires minimum Java 17 or any later version. We are going to use Java 21 for this series, but if you want to use any later version, that should also work just fine. And I am going to use IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate Edition, which provides a lot of support for Spring Boot application development. But if you do not have Ultimate Edition, you can still use IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition and then proceed along with me in this course. And we are also going to use Docker for running our dependent services like Postgres. And I am going to use Docker Desktop, but if you do not have Docker Desktop for any reason due to licensing or whatever, you can use alternatives like Podman or OrbStack to spin up the required services and then proceed further. So here Docker Desktop most of the people know, and it works well with Spring Boot. Spring Boot provides dedicated support for Docker and Docker Compose. But if you are on Mac OS, OrbStack is a drop-in replacement, I would say, for most of the features, common features for Docker, and you can use OrbStack. But if you do not have a Mac and you want to use some container runtime environment, I would say you can use Podman, and your application should work just fine. And this is the repository. I'm going to host the code for this blog application. I'm going to share this URL in the video description. So how are we going to install these tools? Is there any easier way? That's what I'm going to explain next. First, let us talk about how to install Java. So if you are just getting started with Java development, you might probably go to Oracle website and then download JDK based on the operating system you are using and then install it. Once installed, you need to set up Java_home environment variable and also add the bin directory path to the path, and then you can just continue your development. That works fine. But if you are a professional software developer, you might probably work on multiple applications and you might want to use different versions based on the application needs. So then it will become a little bit of challenging. So luckily there is a tool called SDKMAN, which you can install, and you can install different versions of Java like JDK 21, 17 or 23. So whichever version you want to use, you can install and seamlessly switch between different versions of JDK based on the project needs. So let us quickly take a look at how we can use SDKMAN tool. So here, this is the website of SDKMAN, and if you are on either Mac OS or Linux, you can simply run this command to install SDKMAN. Once it is installed, you can use some commands to install JDK, whichever version you want to use. But if you are on Windows, you might still be able to use it by using WSL. Otherwise, I'll show one another option using IntelliJ IDEA. So here, I have already run this command and I have already installed SDKMAN on my machine. So here, if I go to my terminal, I can see SDK list Java command will show all the available options for installing JDK. So here you can see there are different vendors that provides JDK distributions. Here you can see there is a Corretto, GraalVM, Oracle, JetBrains, Microsoft, Tamarin, Zulu. So there are different vendors and they also provide different versions of JDK. So if you are not sure which one to use, I would say either go with Tamarin or Zulu and then pick whatever the version you want to use. So here, if you want to install Tamarin and you want to install 23, so you can copy this identifier and exit this and use the command SDK install Java, and you can specify which version you want to install. So here it is going to download and then install it and ask you, do you want to set this JDK as a default version? So that's all you need to do. You don't have to manually set Java home environment variable and add the path to bin. You don't have to do anything. So just use these commands and you are set. So if you are working on a different project which might be requiring a different version of JDK like JDK 17, still you can just go and run this command with a JDK 17 version, which will download and install, and you can either specify it as a default version or you only enable for a particular project based on the need of the project. So this is as simple as this. I highly recommend you, not only for installing JDK, you can also install other things like SDK list maven. So here it will show what are all the available options, and you want to install maven, you can install it. But of course I would highly recommend using maven wrapper. But there are options like there are various other tools that you want to install, and SDKMAN allows you to do that. And as I said, if you are on Windows, you will be able to use with WSL, but for whatever reason, if that doesn't work for you, I would say from IntelliJ IDEA itself, you will be able to download JDKs and then use it. So let's say you open a project and you want to use a different version of JDK. Let's say by default you have a default version and you want to install a different version of JDK. So what you can do, you can go to File, Project Structure, and here if you go to Project, here it will show this SDK, whichever version is already installed, but you can go and choose this option, Download JDK, and here you can pick if you want to install Java 21, and you can also pick which vendor you want to install, and then you can just specify and download. It is going to automatically download and install the JDK. So this is another option that is more convenient if you are not able to use SDKMAN. If you want to learn more about how to use SDKMAN, I have already made a video on SDKMAN, and you can go to my SivaLabs channel and look for working with multiple Java version using SDKMAN easily. So this video explains how you can install and then use different JDK versions for different projects. Next, let us see how we can install IntelliJ IDEA. So if you go to JetBrains.com, here click on Developer Tools and IntelliJ, and here you can see option to download. If you go to download, you have the option to download IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate or IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition. You can download based on which version of operating system you are using, and you can download and install it manually. This is one option. Otherwise, there is a better option is using JetBrains Toolbox, which you can search and then go to this website where it will show this JetBrains Toolbox application. You can download and install it. Once you install this, it will show the application like this. So here you can see all the available IDEs from JetBrains. Here you can pick which IDE you want to install. It will show both IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate and also IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition. So I have already installed them, so it is showing them as installed versions. So the good thing is, if you want to upgrade, you can see here I have already installed one of the older versions of Webstone, but if I want to upgrade, I can simply click on this update and it will do the necessary updates. I don't have to manually go to the website and then download and then install it. I can simply use JetBrains Toolbox application, and then right away from this I can update to newer versions. Also, if you want to use any other IDEs from JetBrains, this tool can make it simple. You don't have to navigate to different web pages and then download. You can do all that from JetBrains Toolbox application itself. Next, let us see how we can install Docker Desktop. So here, first I would prefer to install Docker through Docker Desktop. So here, when you go to Docker docs, official docs, you can see based on the operating system you are using, you can download the installer and then install it. It's simple. You follow along and you can see Docker Desktop running like this. It's as simple as that. As I mentioned, if for any reason if you cannot use Docker Desktop and you are on Mac OS, this is another alternative. You can use OrbStack. This is kind of a drop-in replacement, I would say, for most of the common use cases. Of course, it doesn't provide all the features that Docker Desktop provides, but for our purposes, this works fine. And if you are not on Mac OS and you cannot use Docker Desktop, another good alternative would be Podman. It is not, I would not say it is a drop-in replacement for Docker Desktop, but it provides most of the features that you need, and certainly it works for us for our application development. So it's your choice based on the operating system and your preference. Get any one of these installed and we should be good to proceed further. Once these prerequisites are installed, now we can proceed to create a repository with this name. One option is you can go to GitHub and then create a repository manually with this name, or another option is you can directly create a Spring Boot project and then share it on GitHub from the IDE itself. So I have installed IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate. Whatever I'm going to show or to share the project is going to work whether you are using Ultimate or Community, that is fine. So I have installed IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate. So one thing is, when you are installing IntelliJ Ultimate or Community, it also comes bundled with JetBrains Runtime, which is a JDK. So even if your laptop doesn't have a Java JDK installed, you can still open IDE, and then, as I already shown, you can install another version of JDK. If you are using a different version, you can download and then use it. So here I have my IntelliJ IDEA open, and you can, if you are using IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate Edition, you can create a Spring Boot project right from the IDE itself. So here I have selected Spring Boot and then give the name as Spring Boot from 0 to hero, and you can specify where you want to store the project and select the language as Java, and I'm going to use maven, and group ID and artifact ID I'm going to use blog, and accordingly that changes the package name. And here, as I mentioned, I'm going to use Java 21, but if you want to use a different version, go ahead and change this as well to Java 21. Next, so here I am going to use Docker's Compose support, configuration processor, and Spring Boot dev tools. I'm not going to use Lombok, but if you are happy to use Lombok, please select it. And we are going to build a web application and REST APIs, so I'm selecting the Spring Web. And also I'm going to use Timely for view templates, and I'm going to use spring-data-jpa and Flyway for database migration scripts. And I'm going to use PostgreSQL, and I'm not going to use H2 database, but I want to show some features of a in-memory database support. So I'm selecting this, but we are not going to actually use H2, but I will show some features of it. And if we go to IO, we want to use Java Bean validation support for validations, and ops, you can select Spring Boot actuator. So next I would select test containers for testing, and also it can also provide a local development setup as well, which I'm going to cover in future videos. So this is all for now, but if need be, we'll add more dependencies going forward. So I'll create our application which automatically opens in the IDE. So if you have IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate, this is how you can simply create the Spring Boot project right from the IDE itself. But if you are using Community Edition, you can go to start.spring.io. So here you can select which build tool you want to use, which language you want to use, and select whichever the latest version of Spring Boot is, and provide your group ID, artifact ID, and select the Java version. And similarly, the way we selected, select whatever the starters you want to add, and then you can generate the project and it is going to download as a zip file, and you can unzip it and then open the project in the IDE, IntelliJ IDEA. So that is also works fine. Okay, once the project is created and open the IDE, now you can share this project on GitHub right from the IDE itself. So for that, first you need to sign into the GitHub. So if you go to settings, here you can see version control, and here you can see GitHub. So I have already logged in into my GitHub account, but what you can do, you can log in with using browser. If you click on this, it will open the browser window, and here you can authorize yourself, and then you will be logged into the system in your IDE, and then you will be able to share your project. Or if you created a token, personal access token, you can use that and share that token here and add the account. So I have used the token and my account is added here. So once you logged into your GitHub account, what you can do, so here you can go to VCS and click on share project on GitHub. So here you can specify whether it is a private project or personal. So I'm making it as a public or private, and here you can give a description. Here I'm going to give springboot from 0 to hero course blog application. Then click on share, and it will ask you to give some commit message. If you want to give something different, you can do, and I am fine with the default one, so I'm adding it and pushed it. So here if you click on it, it will show the same code base is pushed to GitHub repository, and from here onwards we can make the changes and then push new comments and proceed further. So we have our development environment setup ready, and we have also created the initial version of our application and then pushed it to GitHub repository. So in the next video, I'm going to start actually setting up the common things, and then we can start working on our application. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.